In today's tutorial, you'll learn how to design this flat illustration in just a matter of minutes using Adobe Illustrator. My name is Cosmin and I'll walk you through the entire process from start to finish, how I find inspiration, and then how I create the actual illustration inside Illustrator. Let's start with the inspiration for today's video. I was following this designer on Dribbble. Her name is her name is kind of intimidating, but I'm gonna try to pronounce it. Maria Nestsiarovic, and she does these really cute illustrations, pretty minimal. I especially like this one, so I was thinking let's try and create some like this, and in the process show you how I do it. First thing off, I'm going to probably copy this as a reference and then go into Illustrator. Let's create a new document, start from scratch. Let's name it Maria's Style of Illustration. Hit create, and then from the view panel I usually disable snap to pixel just because it kind of annoys me when it snaps into place but not where I want it to be. I'll go to edit, paste, just because I copied this image. For this illustration I want to create somebody that's on a pair of skates, like doing roller skating. So for that, go back to Chrome, and from here go to Unsplash. Let's see if we can find any good references for roller skate. First image, it's already ideal. Let's copy this image again, go to Illustrator, go to edit, paste it here. 1 second, I'm gonna sneeze. Woo! Okay, and I'm going to create the illustration over here on this side. So it's going to be a simple character illustration with a woman that has a pair of roller skates. What I'm going to start with is probably the body. So the top half of the body, because it usually has a simple color to it. Instead of yellow, I'm going to probably use maybe a blue. I like this blue. Let's sample it, and from the swatches panel, save it up. I'll save it as a global color. Hit OK. With the pen tool, I'll start drawing a torso. So I'm going to go like this, and also maybe have some kind of a wave right here, just to have some kind of dynamic look to it. Okay, so this is our base. We're going to start with this. Let's add more waves to it, just because I feel like it's lacking that. Take the pen tool and start drawing. Maybe start from this side, create here one, this side, create here one. I need to hold down on Alt and click here so it's straight. And now let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think this is a bit better. This is a bit too much, so adjust it with the direct selection tool. That's A on your keyboard. Let's remove it, and this is what we'll start our illustration with. Usually for the face, she uses a white fill with a pretty large black stroke, so I'm going to do just that. Let's use again this as a reference. Take the pen tool, create something very minimal. Let's make a white fill, dark stroke, pretty large one for that matter. Then we can continue from here to over here. I'm not sure about an ear. I need to place it somewhere right here, so it kind of intersects, but not really. Okay, so let's take this. This is a bit too much for the body, so I'm going to make this body a bit bigger. Something like this, but also lay it on top. So right click, arrange, bring to front. And also I would like for the strokes, you have here on the right hand side, you have the stroke panel. Make sure you have a rounded cap and a rounded corner. Now I need to create some kind of a hair. So for that I'm going to go with simple black, just a simple fill. Let's sample that and start drawing some hair, maybe like this, but it needs to wave over. Let's go like this. Of course this will probably be adjusted once I start adding elements. Arrange it, send it to the back. Looks pretty cool so far. Okay, now I need the legs. So the orientation is going to be something like this. This will be the first leg, and then the second leg will come kind of like this. So I'm going to use this as a reference. Let's switch it with the stroke just so I can see it. For the leg in front, usually she has one leg that's in complete black and one with the white fill. So I'm going to start with the front one with a white fill. Again, do some waves. I really like doing these kinds of elements. And I'm going to sample with the eyedropper tool, that's I on the keyboard. I'm going to sample it, and then I need back leg as well. Let's do the same thing just because I want to see how it looks. Okay, so we don't need this anymore. And I'm not sure which one. Yeah, because this is overlapping, probably going to make this one a complete black fill. So for that, we need to make adjustments just because the proportions are kind of off. Something like this, and this needs to be cleaned up as well. And the hair will probably need to be adjusted so it goes over. Yeah, so it kind of blends in with the waves here. For the hand, usually again, the white fill with the black outline. So I'm going to click on that just because I want it to sample. And also it's going to start somewhere from the torso. So it's not going to, you can't really see where the, I don't know what this is called, but you can't really see it. So for that, I'll just click and start creating a shape. So I'm going to add a few points here and also move these ones up a bit. So with the direct selection tool, select only these points, move them up a bit, Now the finger is messed up. Yeah, something like this. Maybe adjust this one. I don't really like the way it overlaps over here. So let's zoom in and maybe move this down a bit, just because I wanted to create kind of like a shadow here. And also the stroke outline, I'm guessing it can be a bit bigger. Try to push it as much as possible. Okay, I can see some overlap over here. I would like to work on these waves a bit, just because I'm not super happy with how they came out. This looks a bit better. Let's do the same thing here. And also for the torso, let's take the smooth tool. It's over here. Make sure to select it. Take the smooth tool and go over it a couple of times. Maybe it will help clean these lines a bit. And also with the hand, she's kind of like extending her arm like this, but I would like it to be the other way around. So with it selected, take the pen tool and start removing. I think this is better because you're left to imagine things. Now I need some roller skates. I'm going to use this stroke outline probably. Yeah, so for the feet usually is the same thing. And let's start with this one. To start like this. Like this styling, I kind of saw it a couple of times with figure skating when you're ice skating. So I'm going to use the same style. Let's see if I add some small details as well, if that works. Kind of like the shoelaces, and let's make it a tad smaller. I didn't know the proportion of it, but it was way too much. Maybe it should start somewhere around here. And also let's remove the white fill, just because I wanted to blend in with the foot. So it comes something like this. Maybe this one needs to be adjusted. I'm not super happy about this, but I'm not sure why. So the foot comes like this. Let's try it again. Remove it, and with the pen tool, start from this end. No, again, this doesn't look good at all. This needs to be a bit more straight. So with the direct selection tool, I'm going to adjust it. And also let's put some circles just to imitate the way a roller skate would look like. Make a couple of copy while holding down the Alt key. Also maybe make them a bit bigger. Yeah, to overextend. Why is this so big? Let me try and resize it. I'm guessing it needs to be, yeah, smaller. This looks a bit better. I need to move and create more separation between the foot and these circles. With all of them selected, I'll vertically align them. And also with skates, you either get this or you can get something over here that has, or even in the front. Interesting. Let's see how it will look in the front. So I have something like an element like that's an accent color where you can stop the skate, maybe like this. Let's see how this looks. Pretty interesting, but let's move it to the back. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. And I need to round them up. So with the shape selected, switch to the direct selection tool and you'll get these anchors. Drag on them a bit. I'll just take the same one we created, and while holding down the Alt key, make a copy, a duplicate, try to rotate it till you find something that works. This is a bit, maybe have it over here, but it needs to rotate. Let's move this anchor out of the way. This looks pretty good. This is the only part I would like to adjust. Make it more like that. Once that I moved it here, select it with the direct selection tool and round it up. And now I need to add some kind of a graphic behind it. So let's get these out of the way, just so I can get a clearer look on the illustration, on the actual illustration. And what I would like to do is add some kind of context behind this composition. So not just have a character that's standing, like floating around. I would like it to be on the street. So for that, maybe I'll create, so this would be the street. Maybe I can create an element like this and use this color as a reference, but double click and select a gray color that's pretty complementary. Let's see how this would look. Arrange, send it to the back. I like the way it blends in with the element. Oh, maybe have like a crosswalk. So the same type of element. Let's take a rectangle, create it, and then with the direct selection tool, I'll only select the top ones and skew it at an angle. Let's arrange it, send it to the back, because I would like to make a couple of copies. Yeah, something like this. I feel like this is pretty. It's starting to get a little bit more interesting. Something like this. Yeah, this looks pretty good. But also I would like to have some movement to the illustration. So for that, I'll start with an element over here, create something like this. Send it to the back. Now you can see these ones. Let's make these white. Maybe play with some negative space. Not really sure. We need to make this a bit smaller. This needs to go further on the left hand side, and these ones need to not overlap over here, so I'm going to make them smaller. Let's move this away. And also this is a bit too harsh, so all of these angles are a bit too harsh, so I'm going to select all of them and with the direct selection tool round them up. The only thing I don't like is the fact that there are too many things going on over here. I'm not sure I'm going to solve that. Maybe move the whole thing over here. But then you have this visual tension over here. Let's make it bigger so it doesn't intersect as much. And now this needs to go a bit over like this. I think this looks better. And let's add some elements. In the reference illustration, she is using shapes, but I'm thinking about doing something maybe different. Let's do, with the white fill, let's do a white cloud. Okay, so start with the base. Very similar to what I did for the background. This is nice, but it can be better, so I'm going to draw on top of it. That looks a bit cleaner, and make it a tad smaller, just because I don't want it to take away from the illustration too much. Yeah, so this would be the illustration. I'm really curious what you guys think about these kinds of videos where I take somebody's style, I analyze it, and I try to make a tutorial out of it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like this video so more people could see it, and subscribe for more. Stay tuned, because every week I'm going to put out a new video on the channel. So see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.